It's called Advanced Answering Techniques. So it is 3 professional people explaining to other people how to answer different questions, a multiple variety of questions. Advanced Answering Techniques.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Advanced Answering Techniques. This is the podcast. You heard all about it at the beginning from listener extraordinaire and contributor Joy. Collaborator. And so thank you, Joy. Thanks, guys, for being here. I'm here with Caleb.
Hi, it's me.
And Gabe.
Hi.
And we are going to deal with a big question today. But before we get to that, Caleb had something for wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah. This morning I woke up immediately. I've been doing this thing where I just get up and instead of laying in bed and looking at my phone, I just get right out of bed and I go outside. And this morning I decided I wanted to go find the sunrise. So I got up. Some of my kids woke up when I got up. I told them to put their boots and coats on, go get in the car.
Nice.
And go look around for the sunrise. And so we drove around, but we did not find the sunrise.
And around what time was this?
It was like 7:30.
So the sun had already risen.
It was doing it. I mean, I could see where it was. I could kind of see where it was about to happen.
Because what I'm thinking is,
yeah,
I woke up early this morning, looked outside, sun hadn't risen.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking around. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
Sun's risen.
Yep.
So
it must have happened at some point.
It did happen. I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, it happened, but it got away from me.
Yeah.
It happened somewhere that I couldn't find it.
That pesky sun.
Yeah, slipped right.
I was
through your
driving
fingers.
around. I was like, I'm going to find the right place to watch this happen, and stopped in a few different spots. But it was not right, and we could kind of see it, but it was not a good spot. And my kids didn't like it. My son wouldn't get out of the car, so he stayed in the car. And my other son and my daughter.
And you guys were like, maybe we can catch the sun.
Yes,
we can surprise it.
We'll need to be on foot.
We'll go on foot.
Yeah,
using the car. The sun's very aware.
The sun could kind of hear the car coming and would not
would hide.
It would hide.
Yeah,
get away from us.
So let's get quiet.
Yeah, so we
just
were being
the crunch
quiet.
of gravel under our shoes.
Shh, the sun's trying to rise.
It's being coy.
Yes,
it's playing hard to get.
It was still beautiful in some ways, but spent some time with my kids. They started to whine. Basically, the entire drive home was me just going like, one of my kids was saying he wasn't feeling good and was kind of coughing, and so I put the window down to
help the sickness take hold.
Well, my thought was he's coughing because he's gonna throw up. Because that's a thing.
Nice.
That is a thing.
So I was like, he's car sick, so I'll get some air on him, look outside. And then but then that was tricky because my other son was like, it's too cold.
Right.
And I was like, well, you being cold is not as bad as me cleaning up throw up.
Right.
So that's sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean,
but we got home, no throw up.
That's good. That is good. I mean, that would be a rough start to the day.
Yeah.
You failed on your goal, your intended objective.
This makes me want
to clean, and then you only get throw up out of it.
This kind of makes me feel like we're in an area that I need to deal with. Okay. One thing that what we decided not to do at the top was to talk about stuff that feels very inside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And now, so we're like, let's not talk about certain
our listeners.
And because then people who, new listeners,
right,
who are flooding in, currently, are they're not going to have reference points for that.
Sure.
What is going on?
What's happening?
What is? But now we're talking about
puking,
Caleb's family, and vomit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're saying that's too inside. Vomit is too inside.
That's how it should stay.
That's where it should stay. Stomach acid, the contents of the stomach.
Yep. No,
it needs to be
for a time
too inside.
But it is too inside.
Yeah. I mean, it got outside,
and it's alienating. And your family is alienating.
Yeah. Well, tell me about it. I live with them, and it's like no one wants to
He said alienating.
Yeah.
Not alienated.
Yeah.
No, I know. They're alienating.
Oh, okay.
I used to have a lot more friends before I had a family.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's true.
Your like close relationships have all
Oh
deteriorated.
my gosh,
'cause
I
they-
just had a lot more close relationships. I mean, when I lived as a roommate to other men,
yeah.
those were close relationships, you know. But now I have a family,
Now you only have
and
children.
I haven't lived with a man in forever.
Those were the days. Living with men. We were men and we lived together.
That's right.
I don't
That's
know.
right. That's what a roommate's like.
Something very. We drank beer in the shower,
Yep.
and we
Together.
and we. Yeah, I don't know. There was something that felt rather papa
Not in the
about
same
that.
shower.
No,
You'd just
but
be like,
you'd be like, are you going to use that
Hey.
shower?
Yeah.
I'm going to drink a beer in my shower.
Yeah.
you drink a beer in your
You drink
shower.
a beer in your shower.
Yep.
Just as long as we're taking showers and drinking beers in them. That's all I want to see
In
happen.
swimsuits.
Yep.
We're both
Oh
going to wear
yeah, no,
swimsuits
yeah.
in our
swimsuits.
respective showers.
Yeah.
Swimsuits all the way.
No, being
With
naked,
the net. With the net.
unacceptable.
Yeah.
With the
Netted-
net?
With the net.
Yeah.
Just for the shower ones.
You know, I used to be anti-net. I'm
Yeah.
pro-net now.
Pro net. Speaking of pros and nets, I was just thinking about basketball. And-
Really? That's really
and-
surprising,
And
actually.
nothing but net.
Yeah, that's a good.
What
we
about
should
that
have
for
thought
a
about that.
basketball
We should have.
swimsuit?
We should have thought about that.
All net.
Basketball swimsuit, all net.
All
Nothing
net.
but net.
Nothing but net, baby. Yeah, we're out here swimming in nothing but net.
And it's less of a swimsuit, more of a swish suit.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's
'Cause,
perfect.
you know,
Swish suit.
swish.
My swish suit is nothing but net.
Yeah. Swish.
Yeah,
Swishing
that,
around.
That
It
would
doesn't
be money.
swish.
That would be money, dude. Mm-hmm. That would be mint.
Speaking of merch,
No.
No,
we can sell our nothing but net
We're not
swish
ever
suits.
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
do
yeah. That's
merch.
good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
We will never have merch available.
But we will talk about it at the
But
end.
yeah,
because-
maybe we might. We
because
might.
somebody mentioned it. But okay, speaking of the end, why don't we get started? Okay. Let's listen to our question today, sent in by a new. Well, I don't know how new the listener is, but they certainly haven't sent anything in previously.
Well, hello. This is Samuel Byler over on Hatch Road in Narvon Township, Pennsylvania. Well, as you might suspect, I am Amish, and you might be wondering, well, why is this Amish calling up using a cell phone, or why is he calling into a podcast show, things like that? Well, because us Amish, we don't really use too much electricity or internets, at the home and things like that. So, that might be your question. How are you calling us and getting in touch? Well, my driver, we use a driver sometimes to go for emergencies, or if there's an errand too far away or something like that. And so my driver, he really likes your show here, and so I've listened to it and I do like it too. But the thing that I'm calling in, I'd like, the idea of you guys having people ask questions and then you give them answers and things like that. That's good structure, I guess I'll call it, to the show. So the thing that I was wondering is, what if we had a Amish podcast, like some of my fellow workers or fellow Amishmen? What if we did a podcast? What kind of things would you guys think would be interesting to talk about for the audience? Would that be a good idea? And I don't know if we could record it or something, but that would be I think that's an interesting question. But if you guys have some answers there, that would be greatly appreciated. And I do look forward to hearing your answers. Sorry this message is very long. I just felt like there's a little bit more context to put out there and give you guys an idea what this is about. Have a great day, and I'll look forward to hearing back from you. Thanks. Bye.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Epic.
Yes.
Epic.
Good stuff. I remember the
Yeah.
Amish.
Right.
I grew up around the Amish.
It's the Alamo. You're supposed
I
to remember.
remember
the
the
Alamo.
Alamo.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the Alamo. Never forget the Amish.
Never forget the Amish.
Remember the Alamo, never forget the Amish.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I
Yeah.
mean that was a bit of a trip,
Yeah.
a long trip around the old
I would say
Lancaster County.
that it's a 2-minute, 7-second message.
Okay.
And I would say the first minute and 20 seconds is setup
Yeah.
for
Basically.
Yeah.
for the question.
But he admits that.
He does. He did. He did. He's self-aware gentleman.
He is. He's
Yeah.
a very self-aware Amishman.
Yes. Yes.
I've not found that to be the case.
Typically,
Mostly.
no.
No.
I don't know. I mean, they seem pretty concerned with like clothes and like their beards
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
That's
They have-
self-awareness.
Yeah,
to
self-awareness
you.
is. I'm very aware of which clothes I put.
No, well, I'm just saying like and how that they are perceived by the world
Right.
and everything. Like I think if you're doing those sorts of things, it's less about the actual clothes and it's more about like the way the world perceives you.
There's some aspect to it, but I
Right?
think you could get in there, but I think a lot of it is just this is just how we do things.
Yeah.
It's not about
Yeah.
how does the world
And
see
it's
us.
also-
It's
yeah.
about this is the proper way to be.
And maybe you're within that cultivating a sense of like not paying
cultivating.
attention
They
to.
do.
Yeah,
And they like to cultivate.
They're always cultivating something.
yeah.
that's you're not wrong there, except the mustache.
Yeah,
they
that's
don't want to
true.
do that.
They keep that away.
Try to
Yeah.
keep that.
They
at
keep
a
that
minimum.
back. They fight that. They're fighting the mustache.
That's their one vice.
yes.
Of-
Well, I was going to say because my suggestion of he asked, "What should they do about? What should they do about?
What should they do?
What should
podcasts
they
about?
do about?"
right.
And I had a thought right away.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you have something? That you
No.
wanted to
No.
add?
This
All
is
right.
this is great. This is
Okay.
Answering the
My
question.
thought
Yeah.
was because one thing I know about the Amish is their desire to be plain. And so I was thinking they could do a podcast on how they're taking that to the next level,
Okay.
how they're becoming more plain.
that
Okay.
is good. I was worried for a second you were going to say so they should do a podcast about planes.
Okay.
No, right?
Plain
There's
cast.
something else
Right.
to never forget.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
we don't want to get Amish guys on a plane behind those controls.
No.
Oh no,
They don't know what they're doing.
they don't know what they're doing.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. What would the Amish try to take down with a plane?
I mean, the World Trade Tower is not.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
World Trade Tower's gone.
What?
So what are the
Tower?
Amish
Yeah.
going after? If they get their hands on a plane, what are they going to try to
Right.
take down?
Yeah.
I mean, some kind of pattern, like some kind of floral pattern making.
Yeah, the world's
Oh, interesting. A button factory.
the great Western evil.
Buttons,
Buttons.
just
Yeah.
like not wheels, but tires.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're okay
Right.
with wheels, but tires.
Go straight to the Michelin factory.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't put that in
Boing.
there.
They
Yeah.
try to
So
fly a plane
into-
into the Michelin factory, and it just bounces,
off a tire.
Carefully orchestrated attack on all Les Schwabs around the country.
Yeah.
But that's not what you were suggesting. You were suggesting that they do a podcast helping people to become even plainer.
Yes. How do you maintain
Sort of-
your plainness?
Yeah.
The Jocko Willink of
Yes.
being
plain.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do we do this even better?
Yeah.
And put less effort into it,
Right.
but accomplish the same thing. So you have
Maximize.
more time to be plain in other ways.
Yes.
Or work harder.
Okay.
Yes.
That's pretty. I mean, that I don't know. So the trick with that is that sounds like it is geared toward a Amish
listener.
listenership,
Which they cannot hope for.
right would be. It
They
would
should not
be
count on it.
silly. Like
Yeah.
I would say, the fact that we have one Amish listener is miraculous.
Yeah.
Like
well, probably
that's-
more. There's an English driver.
Yep.
Is English who's driving these
Right.
Amish fellows around, and who knows how many
true.
Amish listeners we might have.
If he's hired by other people,
They're not
other
going to show up in
Amishmen.
the metrics.
No,
Yeah.
they will
Right.
only be one listener.
That
and-
is tricky. I don't love that.
right. Right, like maybe at best they could orchestrate a listening party where, like, they have like a hand crank.
What is this guy's name?
Samuel Byler,
Samuel
Hatch Road.
Byler. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, if he could get like another, just buy his driver like another phone
Yeah.
or something,
Okay.
and then play. And
But
then
this
play
is not the
both.
question. The
Yeah.
question was
That's true. I'm sorry.
because no, I mean I'm just I don't know why they would. I think it would be kind of more like here's like secrets about
How about we-
Amish
can I-
culture.
Can I close
and
this
stuff like
off
that
then?
to-
If we
okay.
go through my idea,
Yeah.
and then we can close it off.
Okay.
So the first question was.
I can't wait.
So the first question was, what should we do? And I said you should do one about being plain.
Yeah.
And then the second question was that a good idea?
Okay.
So we can just say no.
Yeah.
Not a
Okay.
good
Wait,
idea.
wait.
Okay,
What's
interesting.
The three questions he asked were what would we do a podcast about?
Should we do it?
Should we do a podcast?
Yeah.
Can we record it?
Can we
we
record
being
it?
us three
Yeah.
record it?
So for my suggestion,
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's do a podcast on being plain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should you do that? No.
No.
Will we
Yeah.
record it?
No.
Yes.
From my-
I was going to say we will.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. You shouldn't do it, and we
Right.
will record.
If you want to, we will.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Totally.
It's a hard no.
Yeah.
But we'll
About
But
it.
we'll do it.
Is it a good idea? No.
No.
But will we record it? Sure.
Hey, look, we're pretty practiced in that.
Sure.
Yeah.
We've had 3 podcasts. So
And we had to record them all.
we did. We recorded all of them.
Okay,
Even-
so but now your idea.
My idea was like weird Amish, like what's like the stuff to them that's just normal, but to the English, the outsiders,
Yeah.
that what would be interesting, or maybe they're
Like the Ripley's Believe It or Not of Amish.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's really good. And maybe there's a way to focus that around like you pick a subject.
Like ghosts,
You
like Amish ghosts.
Oh.
what do the Amish think about ghosts?
Sure.
I mean,
Well, I
that's,
was going to say the Amish probably have
Should
a
that be-
decent amount of ghosts.
yeah. Should that be episode 1?
Yeah, ghosts.
Ghosts?
Ghosts? Yes.
Really? You
I think
wanna-
that could be because the Amish,
The Amish
They're
take
hard-
on ghosts. Is
Yes. they're hardworking.
Ghostbusters.
Okay, they're hardworking. They have a lot of businesses, so
Okay.
you better believe they have unfinished business.
yes.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, but they do have a
Yeah.
pretty good succession plan for the most part, I believe.
They're
they
not
have
concerned about the business not getting
the,
done.
Right.
The
That's
business is not. It's not unfinished in like the way that it would be for us. It's like, oh well, my son will, in
Yeah.
all likelihood,
Okay. How about a different idea?
carry this on.
The Amish, because of the machinery they use, often lose limbs. They at least lose them at a higher rate. So phantom
Right.
limbs,
Okay, yeah, ghosts.
Ghost limbs.
Still
ghost
ghosts.
limbs.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. So
I mean, let's just think still in terms of like first podcast, maybe phantom limbs is not
Not
maybe,
great?
Maybe amputation
Okay.
for episode 1.
Kind of lead
Okay.
into the ghost limbs.
Then you've got a clear path to episodes 2 and 3.
ghosts, phantom limbs.
No, phantom limbs.
Yeah,
and
Then
I
ghosts.
feel like that's
Yeah.
the connective
Okay,
tissue.
I like that.
So
we
to
got your
speak.
first 3 episodes planned out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the weird Amish. This is what it's called. Weird Amish. Ripley's Believe It or Amish.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
I'm
I was
not-
gonna
I'm not-
say Ripley's Amish or not.
Please, Amish or not.
Ripley's Amish or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that
Yeah.
might be a legal issue
Yeah.
using
Yeah,
the
that's true.
Ripley's,
Ripley's.
branding and whatnot. But I
Or
mean,
you could do something like questions about what they believe and just do it Amish Believe It or Not.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
That's good. I was thinking, is there something with
And then you could start with ghost or amputation. Do they believe in amputation?
Do they believe in it?
Yes.
is there something with Amish,
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go. Like blackish,
like blackish,
yeah,
Amish-ish,
that's good.
Yeah.
or is there or something like that?
No.
Amish-ish is good too. There's a double meaning in that.
Yeah, but yeah. So I don't know. Listen. You don't have. We've found that the title of the podcast really helps you figure out. Can really help you figure out what it's about.
Yeah. If
Oh,
you ever
yeah.
change anything, you
Yeah.
have to change the title too.
Yeah.
Right.
So getting the concept and the title of your podcast to coalesce like
Yeah,
that
it's important.
Is important.
It's important.
Your premise needs to fit. So Amish, I don't know.
So
how,
should we
that's-
finish with Gabe's though?
Yeah.
Because we're kind of jumping onto yours.
That's fine.
It's not. No, it's the same podcast.
Same podcast.
Yeah.
but it's just a question of the title.
Okay.
Yeah. Amish.
So,
I mean, I like
and the
it.
podcast is tell us weird stuff about the Amish.
Yes, kind of go through subject by subject and give us an Amish take on this, so that we will understand the distinctions as,
and it could
as
go-
an English listening audience.
Yeah.
It
Are
could
they
go
flat Earth.
specific Amish things, and then it could be like English things and we're hearing what they think about that
Yeah.
thing. You know, like
This is unrelated, but I was just wondering about does the Pope use the Twitter? Like,
Yeah.
does the Pope is he online?
yes.
That seems like a bad idea.
You think the Pope has a phone? And
I was
with
wondering
Twitter,
what the Pope's phone case
there's
was.
a like Pontifex.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his? Yeah,
What
does he
is
have a
his
little
phone?
hat for his phone?
He's got a little.
They have those little ears on like a bunch of phones. His is just like a
He's got a little poppet thing on the back.
yeah. The
People.
Pope is like
he's got one of the holster things.
yes,
Yeah.
totally the Pope
On
has a
his
holster.
on his sash
Yeah.
or his belt.
You better
or
believe
whatever
he's
that
using a
is. What is that
VPN
called?
too.
There's
Yeah.
a name for the rope around
Yeah.
him. That
Oh,
a
I don't
monk
know.
wears.
I
I know
wonder
his
what-
hat's called a mitre.
That's a miter.
A mitre.
At least that's what it is for bishops.
You better believe he's got a VPN too.
Yeah. Vatican
He's-
Protocol Network.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, what's the IP address of the Vatican?
Yeah.
I'm the Pope. D, I don't know why it's
Yeah,
in there.
D doesn't get counted.
Yeah.
It's the Pope, so that's not part of the.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Pope.
I'm Pope. Who's Pope?
What's
I
my
am.
my I'm Pope address?
So you were just thinking about hardcore religious individuals
using technology.
using technology.
Sorry, that's the
no, there's the
relationship
connective
here.
tissue.
Yeah, thank you
That's
for
all.
taking us. It's H
Sure.
I don't know, M.
Yeah, I like that.
Something else.
It's Amish to mitre.
yes.
And
Sorry,
yeah, I mean
but-
Amish. I
Yeah.
think that sounds like a good show, and it's a risk because I think probably the people that are most interested in all things Amish, they're all in. They're Amish.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you might not have much of an audience.
Yeah.
Like I think they're interesting, but I don't know if I would listen to that podcast, Samuel. I don't know if that's something I
I
would
had
okay.
another great idea.
subscribe to.
So for your idea, you're kind of saying, no, it's not a good idea.
I'm saying, should you do it? No.
No.
But
Will we
again,
record it?
We will.
We will.
record it if you want to.
We will record it.
Yeah.
Are we going to him or is he coming to us?
Well, what we need.
I mean,
is-
we're going to be. If he's coming to us, I think we'll be waiting for
I-
quite a while.
yeah,
right.
that's true. He's
Yes.
gonna have to ride his little buggy.
Get a
all the way out
Conestoga
here.
wagon. I think
Yeah.
he's going to upgrade to a Conestoga wagon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think he might find his way onto a plane, but once he gets there, we better keep a close eye on Les Schwab's and button factories across the country.
Button factories.
Yeah.
How many of them are there?
Yeah, that would be worrisome.
And it doesn't matter
Samuel.
if you're thinking about buttons, as in things you use to fasten your shirt together, or buttons that you use to press
Either
on your
one.
computer. They don't like them. Either one. Yeah.
Not
no
into
buttons. They're really okay.
And
They sort of have kind of an Islamic sort of jihad attitude towards all buttons.
Yeah, all buttons.
Right.
Yeah, none of them are good.
right, and yeah, I don't know. There's just a funny image of Samuel Byler at the top of the no-fly list.
He's like, it is kind of like people look at it and they're like, would they fly? Would he fly? Or do we need him on the
Yeah.
no-fly list?
This is something we have to worry.
And they're like, "Oh, he was just up there because we thought he was Muslim because of the beard and everything,
yes. Yes.
and no mustache."
No mustache.
That's how it goes.
Yep.
So
The
Yeah, if you
God
don't-
hates mustaches.
if you don't have a mustache, you cannot fly.
Is it Yahweh? Is it Allah? He hates them.
Yeah.
Either
Yeah.
way,
Anabaptists and
Yeah.
and Sunni and Shiite Muslims all agree on that.
Yep.
The mustache must
The evils
go.
of the mustache. The okay, so I think we're still searching a little bit for a concept that maybe we would say go for this. This is going to bring this because that's the gap we're trying to bridge. Is who's this for? This has got to be for non-Amish folks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's going to make us listen? Is there a concept that we'd be like, I'm listening to that.
Okay.
I have another idea,
Okay.
but if
I
you
do
have
too.
an idea,
No, I want to hear yours.
okay, we can go through this one quickly, but
Okay.
it's the Rumspringa podcast.
Mm.
Rumspringa, for those who don't know, is a period of time in which the Amish young people are encouraged to go sow their wild oats. It's before they're baptized into the Amish church. So they have not taken the faith on for themselves yet, and it's for them to go see what the world is about, and then they can decide if they want to still be part of the Amish church after that period's done. It's not really a defined period. You can kind of do it as long as you
Yeah.
want, but if you join the church after that, you get baptized in the church, and then you decide not to be Amish, then they all have to shun you.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to go do this, but then once you decide you want to settle down and be Amish, that's
Yeah.
it.
It's it's very much a what happens in Rumspringa stays in Rumspringa.
Right,
kind
that kind of thing.
situation.
And
Yeah.
I guess this is the ultimate. We're testing this out now to see if anyone wants to listen to this.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Exactly.
we'll
sort
find
of.
out.
Sort of. Yeah.
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 We're right in it.
Yeah.
In the middle of it. So my idea is you interview Rumspringas, people on Rumspringa.
Mhm.
Okay.
See what they're doing. What are you doing? What are you interested in about our culture?
Yeah.
And then you could kind of even episodic.
Okay, so
follow every season of the podcast is like someone's Rumspringa
Okay,
journey.
but what you're proposing now is I know what is the position of these guys talking about Amish stuff, because now we have an English person interviewing an Amish person,
Okay.
an Amish kid
Yep.
on Rumspringa. So this is now
Well, it
seems
doesn't
to
have
be
to be
outside of the purview of these Amish guys.
Doesn't have to be an English person interviewing them.
It doesn't. Oh,
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you think that might, be difficult for an Amish kid on Rumspringa to
Divulge.
discuss what he's been up to, or
So maybe
he or
that
she has
maybe
been
you
up to?
get into that, or maybe what you do is you have the Amishmen talk about what they did on their Rumspringa. The guys who
Back.
are established.
There you go. I like that.
Right?
They've
They've already
probably
decided to
confessed
join
that, yeah.
the
Okay.
Amish church, and you're going back in time.
You've got.
What
okay.
was Rumspringa like in the 80s?
Yeah.
Here's what
You know?
you get your most charismatic Amishman,
Right.
which I think is probably Samuel.
Sandler.
Samler. Is it okay if we just
Sandler
make this quick so we can refer to you quickly?
Sandler.
Just call you Samler. He's a real he's charismatic,
Sam
like
Man.
Adam Sandler.
Sam
Yeah,
The
Sam
Sandman.
Man.
No, Samuel Byler seems very charismatic. He should have a co-host, and then they should be interviewing older
There you go.
Amish.
Yeah. I like it.
Is
new
that one
guests
they
every
should do?
week.
Yes.
That sounds like we were onto a concept.
I think so.
I think we accomplished what was asked of us
I think so.
for that.
We did it.
I think that's it. I mean, it is probably from the outside one of the more interesting aspects of Amish culture.
Yeah.
But I did have can I pitch one
Yeah.
more thing, which is to find like uniquely modern American experiences, right? So things like social media.
Mm-hmm. This is
or
a
movies.
I feel like this is a segment, right? This is a segment
Perhaps,
on the show.
it could even function as that. But then you ask Amish people what they think those things are. You just describe
Oh yeah.
them, and then Amish people would have to come up with,
Wait, give me an example.
like if you're asking them like
What do you think TikTok is?
right? What do you think it means to follow somebody?
Well, it's a clock.
That sort of thing,
isn't it?
Yeah, a TikTok sounds like a clock. That whole thing,
I
and
think it's a
and really,
clock.
it would just be
TikTok. That sounds like what I'm making to go take over to the Le Schwab.
Yeah.
Bomb.
Time bomb.
Make it a bomb.
Yeah. But I think it would really.
I was really hoping that Caleb's Amish accent was not as bad as it was.
Oh yeah.
TikTok. That sounds like the big box I'm making to take over to the
over.
bomb.
See,
I'm
I'm
going to
not-
take it over to the bomb.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to take it over to Les Schwab. I'm Amish.
Okay.
Okay.
What do I sound like?
TikTok. That sounds like a bomb.
But I was gonna say it would be taking
Wait,
advantage.
you say it better, Josh.
Oh, TikTok. That sounds a bit like a bomb, doesn't it?
That's
Done
it's
it.
closer.
Done it. They don't say
Done it.
done it.
Danny.
No,
Danny.
yeah, they do.
They don't say done it.
That sounds a bit like a bomb, I expect.
I expect.
I
There you
expect
go.
it sounds a bit like
pretty
a
good.
bomb.
Okay,
Done-
so but you
done it then. Done it then.
done it then?
I wouldn't swear to, but this is within the range of
Okay,
expressions. I always
expect it's
think of one particular Amish guy who come into the clinic and buy things from Dad, and this is very much the way he talked.
very much.
Very much kind of slow,
TikTok
with a lot of tongue, being very tongue forward.
tongue forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
Pennsylvania Dutch. They're called Pennsylvania Dutch, but they're actually German.
They're Germans.
Right.
Deutsch.
It's a
Deutsch.
It's a mistranslation. Exactly. That's where they got it wrong. The Deutsch.
But I was gonna say it takes advantage. Having asking Amish folks' opinions on or what they suspect certain modern
Yes.
Right.
I don't know experiences or
Yes.
or
Like you could be like
You-
washing machine. What
yeah,
do you think
what do you think
that
that is? What do you think that is?
Yeah. Hold on. Do you guys have any idea
Right.
what a washing machine might be?
But this is what I mean.
Yeah,
It really plays to the strength of like the fact that they are so different and
Hair dryer.
crazy.
How about hair dryer?
And
You
then
guys have any idea
now
what a
we
hair
can
dryer
laugh
is?
at that.
Yes.
Now we can
and
laugh
so,
at that.
And so when you give them, and
Right.
so, yes. So even giving them things that seem like softballs,
Yeah.
watching them
Right.
react and be like, well, duh, we know what
Yeah,
that
we know
is.
what it
What do you
Yeah.
think this is? You're holding up a
You
softball.
think that's this?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
idiot.
I
that's
expect,
kind
I
of.
expect it's a big baseball. No, it's a softball.
No, it's a softball.
No, I'm
moron.
pretty sure that the Amish are familiar with softball.
I think whoever's.
But
I think-
apart from the sport,
yeah.
What do you mean?
If they're not out there in the field, if someone just holds it,
yeah. Like, what do you think this
okay.
is?
They're like,
Well, I expect it's a big baseball.
your guess
They're
is as good as mine.
Baseball ball.
I think it's a baseball.
Bigger
I
baseball.
think it's a bit of a baseball. It's
Bigger.
looking.
Bigger baseball.
Looks kind of like a small volleyball.
My reference
They
is
definitely
They
know
love
volleyball.
They love that.
Love volleyball.
I mean,
yes.
maybe that's Mennonites.
Mennonites. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again,
The
that I mean,
continuum here is really
Yeah.
extremely difficult. There's
Sure.
no way. I mean,
that could be it too. That could be
that's
the
a
podcast.
segment.
Yeah.
Is like so Samuel Byler, maybe he's old
Samler.
order. I don't know for sure,
Yeah.
but perhaps he's old order Amish, and maybe you got an old order Mennonite as
Yeah.
his kind of co-host if they can be friendly. I don't
Yep.
know.
Yeah.
If it's
Or
Allowed. They have
Or
to sit
you
at
get-
different tables.
they might have to do it.
or the podcast is a Mennonite, and he's
The podcast is a Mennonite?
the podcast has a
Mennonite.
Mennonite host.
My gosh. Caleb, you're going to have to record. You're going to have to record this as a punishment.
Yeah, right.
As
You
a
have to record
punishment, I
this.
have to fly out there and record it.
Mennonite host.
Well, I was just saying, you said the podcast is a Mennonite.
We
The
know what he
podcast.
means. He's finishing a sentence. The podcast is a Mennonite, etc. Doing these various
The
things.
podcast is a Mennonite host.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Here, let me roll this back.
No,
a bit.
I think you need to speed it up. Slowing
The
down is not,
premise-
is not
That's-
helping me.
That is Caleb's problem. is
premise
that-
of the podcast
Okay.
show
Okay. Fast.
to be released weekly,
Okay.
recorded and produced
Right.
and edited
Yeah.
and released weekly, would contain a Mennonite host documenting the differences between Mennonites and Amish.
Okay.
And it's called Amish. I still
Yes.
like that title because it's like that is truly Mennonites are Amish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they're not
Yeah.
Amish.
Well, but it's actually the other way though.
oh, okay.
The Mennonites are the older faith.
Well, no,
and
no,
the Amish
here's-
broke off of the Mennonites when they started being too
Right.
liberal.
So
Okay.
well, so here's the
Too many buttons.
Yeah.
too many buttons
Too many
and
buttons,
the
tires.
hats
Yes.
are not are the
floral
incorrect.
patterns,
I'm
bad floral
sorry.
patterns.
Yeah.
Did your wife shave her legs?
Yeah. Unacceptable.
No, sir.
Uh,
Which I love as
The Amish
too
like a
progressive.
lot of friction
It
in
is-
their intimacy.
Well, it's true that what's interesting is the men often have much cleaner upper lips than the ladies.
It's true. It's
they leave the mustaches to the women.
yeah. There's something hormonal in the relationship. There's an imbalance sensed by the woman's
Nature
body.
abhors
The
a
woman,
vacuum.
the woman says, "We'll pick up the mustache slack."
Yeah. No, trust me, got it covered. The whole lip covered. Absolutely. Enough for both of us. Yeah, I mean that is so like an Amish kiss creates
Yeah.
a full beard.
Right. Yes.
That's what I call my beard.
That is
the Amish kiss.
The
Yes,
Amish kiss.
it
Lots
is-
of tongue too.
It's really beautiful.
I don't know why it's called French kissing. Get out of here, dog.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid of what you might.
Reek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't smell my bag.
Go away.
Don't
outta here,
smell my
dog.
backpack.
Go away, dog.
Dog,
Get your
go
nose
away,
out of my
dog.
backpack. Out.
Go away, dog. Leave.
I'm taking a hard stance against the dog.
Oh, I like it.
Okay,
I-
good.
I approve. I'm surprised the dog is out here. I said the dog should stay inside.
Yeah.
The dog is outside.
If you
Yeah.
were Amish, these kinds of things wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't happen.
Right.
No,
Your
Yeah.
household would be in order.
I think it would
Animals
be finally.
would be in order.
Well, my shop would certainly be in order.
It definitely feels like it's a lot of fun to talk about the Amish because they're not going to. What
Well-
are they going to do, right? You know.
Well, that's true. I mean, I was thinking that, but we are answering a question from an Amish listener,
yeah.
and we haven't been all that generous
No.
to his people,
Right. But it's because
and especially his women.
right. That's true.
Yep.
But I mean, I think that they are practical
Yeah.
people, very pragmatic, and so I think he would hear everything and just say, "Yeah, that's true." You know,
yeah,
he would.
yeah.
He would.
They know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They know.
they understand.
aware.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, they're very smart people. You know, they are very successful in business,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
generally speaking, and they, they do all of that with just an 8th grade education.
Right.
Dude.
So
And the Amish
That's-
are way more loaded than people think.
yeah, they're absolutely trashed all the time.
Right.
They're loaded.
Sorry, I meant like money wise. They're
Loaded.
wealthy,
Oh,
Very wealthy people.
Okay. Yeah.
typically.
Yeah, that's true. So
Yeah.
hot tip for thieves.
Yeah, hot tip for thieves: go look for Amish gold.
We have Amish listeners that we were not aware of.
Sure.
Yeah.
Perhaps we have career criminals.
Career criminals that we're not aware of. Yeah.
listening.
Look for those minted Amish gold bars
Yeah, that's right.
deep in the silo.
Yeah, if they've got really clean black buggies parked outside their house,
Yeah,
that's
ooh.
when you know.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
They're in the Cosa Nostra,
Yep.
the Amish equivalent.
Yep. Amish
Sort of
mafia.
thing.
Amish mafia.
So I guess that's what we could worry about if we're
Abs-
offending Amish people.
yeah.
Amish mafia.
Amish mafia.
Well, we got
coming
a
after
long time till we meet
Yep,
them. They
that's
come
true.
out here. We're gonna be. We can. And
But
as soon
maybe-
as we see them
so-
approaching, we can
but
get in
maybe
a car
they-
and get away.
Maybe they'd sick like the local Hutterites on us, or do they
Oh,
have
yeah.
like a
a
connection?
connection. Well,
They get
here's the thing. You know, the way that the
they have a driver.
the
You're right.
Amish
they have
mafia
drivers.
Well, the way the Amish mafia worked was that there were Amish kids that were buying drugs from the pagan biker gang.
Okay.
The name of the gang was the Pagans,
Okay.
and that's who they were buying meth and
Awesome.
cocaine from. And when I was in high school, this was happening in Lancaster County, And so they had a drug connection with the pagan biker gang. So I'm worried that if that still exists,
Yeah.
that the pagan biker gang is very mobile.
Yep. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's one of their
There's-
chief
Right.
features.
Yeah. Having motorcycles
So-
at your whim.
I don't think it's that we don't need to worry about
Do you think the Amish could
reprisals.
so what we should look out for is like a pagan biker gang member on there and then an Amishman on the back with like a scythe going after us?
I mean, if you saw that,
And he's shaving a mustache. If you scything down a mustache.
if you saw that, approaching,
that's freaky.
Yeah.
you would know. I mean, I would hope that you would click on and go, oh, right. That's
This is
is a
definitely for me.
Right.
It's not for anyone else.
yeah. You should definitely acknowledge the threat at that point. Guys, I feel that we have kind of dealt with this question.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Samuel.
Samuel.
Samler. It was nice to hear Samler say that he was is Samuel Hatch. Or, I'm sorry, Samuel Byler Hatch Road.
Yeah.
Okay, because this is
Yeah.
folks outside of kind of the Amish context might not understand that you have to have these designations because there's probably a Samuel Hatch on Todd Road.
Yep.
Or various other roads.
Samuel Byler on Todd Road.
I'm sorry, you're right.
It's okay.
Yeah, Samuel Byler, and sometimes it even gets to the point where you have to indicate Samuel M. Byler
Right.
versus Samuel P. Byler, etc.
And the M stands for man.
M stands for man.
And the
Sam
P
Man.
stands for, well,
Person.
we won't say. Okay, yeah. We can say that part.
Samuel
Yeah.
Man Byler and Samuel Person Byler. They live
They've
both
gotten
on Hatch Road.
somehow the non-binary stuff has gotten into the Amish culture.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's like, I'm a person. Just call me a person.
Kind of wrap up thoughts on this, including techniques that we feel that we exemplify.
Yeah.
I mean, if you try once and
Yeah.
it doesn't work,
Right.
try again.
Yeah.
Keep going. Try many answers.
That's what we
Okay, yeah.
we kind of auditioned several answers before we got to something really solid,
Yep.
which was halfway between a Rumspringa podcast and then Mennonites
Yep.
interviewing
Yeah.
Amish people.
Well, it's
See,
no,
I
think
I
it's
still I don't actually stand by that
Okay.
conclusion because I don't think the Mennonites getting involved I don't really understand. Is that just because they're going to have
well, then we might not have to record it because they might have
See-
might be more likely to have a
Okay.
recorder.
Mennonites exist on a continuum where you have the old order,
Right.
Yep.
which is basically Amish.
Yes.
And then you have, and so their technological perspective is going to be the same. But then, outside of that, there are more modern Mennonites who will
yeah.
use cars and all. But
Right.
I agree
More
that
commonly,
I've noticed
Mennonites
they will use cars, but still the women, they're not
Yeah.
shaving.
They're not driving to the store to buy razors.
Yep, not driving to the store to get Nair.
Yeah. They're
Or
not
anything
going to
like that.
Goods and picking up razors.
Yeah.
Right.
Does Goods even sell razors?
yeah,
Probably.
they're not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're shaving your field.
They're
Yes.
not.
As in where you grow your crops.
They're yeah.
Of
Cultivating.
Yes.
They're not selling their shoe fly pies in order to save up money
Yeah.
to get electrolysis.
No.
Right. They're not doing that.
No. They're
Also, Mennonite men don't have to wear beards.
they don't have to.
They don't have to.
No.
Mennonite Amish men have to grow beards after they get married.
Yeah, that's their wedding ring.
Yeah.
The ring around the face.
That's
Hair-
why they don't do the
a
mustache.
hair ring around the face. And when an Amishman goes bald, no longer married.
Yeah. Well, he's in an open marriage.
Because of the top of
The top's just wide open.
Yeah.
That's it's a really interesting religion.
It's a whole other culture.
yeah, a whole other sect. And we respect them because if we say that, then it's fine that we said all the other stuff.
I respect them because so much of the money that our family got was theirs.
Yeah.
That's true.
Had been.
Yes.
Yeah.
Had been theirs. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We didn't steal their Amish
No.
gold.
No, our
weren't
family's
thieves.
wealth is not based on reclaimed Amish gold.
It's like, yeah, I mean, so you get the Amish gold, and
Yeah.
then there's another kind of German gold people like too.
Yes, it's true. This German gold is all highly sought after.
Yeah, Deutsch. What's is it? Rhine
Gold?
Gold.
I don't know. I don't know what gold is.
No, it's called
Rheingold.
Rheingold.
Rheingold
Rheingold
is
yeah.
the-
Oh,
It's
okay.
the
Yeah,
ring,
that's
the
cool,
ring
dude.
cycle.
and yeah, we're very very into Wagner.
It just gets me.
I'm
it
just
just
enough-
gets me stoked. It
Dude,
just
I'm
gets
just
me real
enough into
jacked up.
Wagner. Just enough.
Yeah.
Just the right amount into Wagner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enough. I'm just the right amount, which is Fly the Valkyries every morning.
We did want to deal with some podcast business. We have been getting messages on our Spotify from, in particular, a previous collaborator or contributor. Depends on how difficult Caleb might be about this. So going back a few episodes, Cyrus,
Yes.
who had been harassed by a dog, was commenting on the podcast that Joy was on. We had an interchange, I believe, Caleb, where I claimed that eaves are Cole's natural habitat.
Yeah.
You're like, how would fire get onto an eave? And I said that was a very natural place for coals to be. And Cyrus had this to say: Cole's natural habitat is Christmas eaves,
Yeah. That's good.
which I'm very impressed with,
Yeah.
because of Santa
Right.
and
Right.
giving Cole. And so, yeah,
Makes you wonder
Christmas
what does
Eves.
Cyrus has maybe never been a good boy.
yeah, it's top of mind for Cyrus is
Yeah.
getting Cole.
Right.
So that was one. Thank you, Cy, for that comment. We have another one here. I don't have a vocabulary. And this was on the Unleashed episode where Silas contributed.
Yeah, we were commenting on how in the past when we've seen Cyrus perform at the open mic,
Yeah.
we've been very impressed with his vocabulary.
Yes.
And the cue for the Q&A on this episode was, what did you think of the episode? And
Yeah.
his response was, I don't have the vocabulary.
I don't have. Oh, interesting.
So,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so you think he was less like dealing with the fact that we accused him of using certain words, proving his expansive vocabulary.
Right.
And he's not talking about that. He's just saying, I don't have a vocabulary to describe what I think about this episode.
that's how I'm reading that.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
We should think about all these. All of these are responses to the same thing.
The same question.
Same question, which is, what did you think about this episode?
Yeah.
And so on just last week's episode 12, Remembering, Cy had this to say: I like and love my wife merch, please.
All right.
And that's
What he thought of the episode.
Yeah.
Right.
I like and love my
Seems
wife
positive.
merch, please.
Seems positive.
Yeah.
And unrelated to that, Joy says, what did you think about or in response to what did you think about this episode, she says yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and definitely positive.
Yeah.
Certainly positive.
It is affirmative.
Yes.
That's definitely true.
I am somewhat tempted to read this as and call me crazy, and I expect to be corrected by you guys, but as though Cy's just using this question as sort of a blank slate, and he's saying, because we did say I like and love my wife
Yeah.
On the episode.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Cy says, I like and love my wife merch, please.
Yeah.
And then maybe Joy saying, yes, that's a good idea.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. For
Okay.
one, like you said, these are questions from
Yeah.
Cyrus.
Right. Well, these are
Answers, actually.
Two questions.
He's giving an answer here.
I love and like
Yes.
my wife merch, please.
It's a Q&A. So we had the question.
Our question was,
yes.
what
Yeah.
did you think about
What did you
this
think
episode?
about the episode? That's Spotify's question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think so it's triggering up in his mind of, I'd like to have some material possessions
Right.
related to this podcast.
Yeah.
That's what he thinks about the episode.
Yeah.
So, and then Joy is just saying, what I think about this episode is yes, is
Yeah.
in the band.
Okay.
Oh. There's something about it reminded her of yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it was very complicated. We had sort of a classical, like, kind of a proggy kind of.
If I remember back,
winding
we
road.
used there's extended keyboards.
The whole episode was about remembering.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I remember the remembering episode, lots
And,
of keyboards involved.
Yeah.
Um,
And Gabe was doing a lot of kind of a lot of what he was doing sounded to me like really fast guitar fills.
yes.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
some of what Caleb was doing seemed like kind of like he was creating harmonic interest with synthesizers.
Yep.
And some of what I was doing was singing really high.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. It seemed like that. If you had to relate us to yes,
Yeah.
then yeah.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you had to relate us to yes, then yeah.
And I think some of what I was doing was also providing some pretty complicated polyrhythmic drum stuff too.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it's offbeat at first and doesn't seem like it jives, but then
But then you're like,
kinda,
actually,
you step back and you go, oh wait,
you're
maybe
actually
it kinda works.
you're like, well, it doesn't sound good, but it is very fast.
But it's correct. The math all
the
checks
math
out.
works out. It doesn't sound good, but it is very complicated.
Yep.
And doesn't necessarily like land anywhere in particular.
Right. It's hard to get along with, but
Right.
you understand its artistry.
And then I also
don't like
some,
listening to it, but it makes sense.
and then some other things I was doing seemed like maybe some bass parts,
Okay.
like basso.
And you were,
continuo.
and because you were doing a lot.
You were doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
You were kind of doing
There
most
was-
of it.
Yeah, and I felt like you guys kind of were at one place, and I was kind of contributing at multiple
Oh yeah.
levels.
Right. Just like
Yeah.
the band, yes.
Just like the band, yes.
And it's crazy because what part of that whole process would you say you writing a song and putting it on that episode was? Was that the drums? Was you writing the song, the drums? Or
that the analogy here gets very complicated.
Or is that like pushing like the recording engineer recording?
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay,
Was
yeah.
it was more of like, yes, doesn't get a lot of credit, but they really did use the studio as an instrument.
Yeah,
and that's
right.
kind of what the
It's
song was.
It's an
the
instrument
song
we can
was
all
the
sit in.
studio.
The studio is an instrument we can all have a seat in.
Yeah,
Beep
Yeah.
boop.
Yeah, except it's just Josh making the.
Yes,
Song.
that's true.
yeah.
Wow. I mean, that
Some
was-
answers kind of leave you speechless.
And well, that really was helpful to have the whole band see our podcast through that
Yeah.
lens, that perspective. And
the whole
it's very
band?
helpful. Yeah, just the band of yes to
Yeah.
kind of walk through each
Yes.
part.
So that's what I
Parts-
think.
the parts we play.
It's
Yeah.
wild what a simple answer
Right.
can then
Right.
lead to all of this.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah.
worthwhile.
Yes. Flights of fancy,
Yes.
whimsy.
All she said was yes, and here we are.
Here we
we
go.
And here we go.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. You can send in your own questions and answers.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen that yet, but
Well, no, we have.
Oh, have we?
Weren't we just
Well,
talking
these
about
were answers. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I was thinking
Oh, in
someone
the
submitting a
traditional format.
an audio
An answer
file.
to a previous question that's been asked on the podcast.
Yes, and you can send those to advancedansweringtechniques@gmail.com. We're looking for about a minute file, some kind of audio file. And speaking of audio files, I don't know where I was going with that.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Listening. Yeah, you
Yeah,
must
you
like
guys love
audio. You're listening. You can have 2 minutes if you're Amish.
Yeah. Well,
Sure.
we're not gonna prevent. It's a guideline.
Yep.
I don't even like to say it. We should probably cut this out because because I don't want people to feel
No.
like I want them to feel the heavy hand.
Anything that you need to say to us, you can say in 1 minute.
Come on,
Probably.
you can do it.
Yeah.
Unless there's context.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if
Oh,
there's,
I mean,
if
if
there's
there's
context,
context.
take as much time as you need.
If there's context.
Right.
Yes. So thanks a lot, guys. Thank you, Gabe. Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Josh, for hosting, and
Yep.
Caleb.
I'm still here.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
For,
I didn't
for being here.
leave during the podcast, so
Right. I
that's-
thought about
you
leaving,
could thank me for that.
Yeah.
but I'm going to wait.
All right.
We're going to go out on a song. This song is, I don't know exactly how to describe this song. I'll be interested to hear.
Can you put it in the, like...
Terms of which member of Yes it is.
exactly.
Oh, interesting. Is there an Amish member of Yes? Because this song is ostensibly
Yeah, he plays
From
the
the-
triangle.
from the song is, yeah, they're not big on musical instruments. It is ostensibly from the perspective of an Amish person,
Okay.
Awesome.
sort of.
Okay. Hand in, hand out.
Acoustic guitar.
Bye.
Bye.
Phone out in the field, calls but I can't hear her. Sworn and signed and sealed, she's dearer. What did I make up when I made up myself? Did I, Sarah L, do it well, do it well, do it well, do it well. Tell me what I'm like, speaking to the mic, to buggy or a bike, how to strike you. What did I make up when I made up myself? I know you can tell. Did I, Sarah L, do it well, 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 do it well.